ready for another lesson?
Oh, what's up, everybody, and welcome back to Back Row Banter, your casual movie talk podcast. I am one of your hosts, Nathaniel, and joining me this week is Big Tron BlakeHolder.
What's going on, guys? What's going on?
We're talking Tron Legacy this week. How you feeling about that one?
I don't know. I'm probably the most, arguably, debatably. I don't know. I guess that's why we have this podcast to figure it out. The most neutral on this movie, right? I think if I can recall, was this one Adam was big on? Right? Who was big on this?
I like this movie. I'm definitely
okay.
Me and Tyler.
No, I'm relatively big on it too.
Me and Tyler are definitely in this one's corner.
Maybe I'm wrong then.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that other, speaking of Tyler, that other voice you heard over there is Tron Tyler Vanellis.
That's me. I'm not as big as Blake, but I'm just another Tron.
Yeah, Slim Tron Tyler. Broad Tron.
Mediatron.
Broad Tron.
Yeah,
you want to go Broad Tron? That it's got a nice ring
Broad
to it.
Tron.
Broad Tron.
If you can get it off your tongue.
Yeah.
Broad Tron.
Broad Tron Tyler Vanellis.
That's me. I was gonna say, compared to Blake, I would say most people are, a little smaller than he is. But
true.
I would like to, go to bat for myself and say I'm not a small person.
For sure.
For sure. I probably lost some muscle definition compared to what Blake has, but I'm still pretty big.
Full disclosure
sure,
that's
something.
Sorry, Blake. Go ahead. I'm sorry to cut you off.
Yeah, no worries, brother. I was gonna say, that's something we've talked about on this pod is that we're oddly like almost all the same height.
Yeah,
which is like funny. It just keeps coming across. Yeah, nobody here is and not that there'd be anything wrong. If we were 5'7", a group of 4 or 5'7" individuals, that'd be totally fine as well.
And obviously, since Adam's not here, we gotta poke some fun at him. He's the scrawniest out of the bunch of us, but he is in no way, shape, or form the shortest. So we're all relatively close.
Yeah, it's we are not the smallest podcast. We're no short kings amongst us, unfortunately. Not that we wouldn't. We would love to have you. We fully support you, but
shout out Short Kings.
Yeah, we support Short Kings. We've had 2 of them on special guests on the podcast, Justin and Ryan. Those are 2 Short Kings in my life. So
statistically, our shortest episodes in a height standpoint.
Double entendre.
Yes, it is. Anyways, folks, as you can tell, Adam is not here tonight. Tron Adam, that is, I should say. Our wishes are with him. We'll just say he's having a week for himself, but he's he'll be back. I'm sure soon. So you're getting the triumvirate 2 weeks in a row here, but
in a row
we keep it rolling. As we said earlier, we are talking Tron Legacy this week. If you're new to Back Row Banter, we're going to jump right into it. We review movies here. We're friends. We're casual movie talk podcasts. You get it. The way that it works here is there's a review segment. That review segment is split into 2 sections. There's the non-spoiler section, and there's the spoiler section. It's pretty self-explanatory. In the non-spoiler section, we'll go over the movie itself on its IMDb page, who wrote it, who's in it, all of that good stuff. Oh, side note, last week, we were talking Caught Stealing, the movie. I kept referring to the actor Regina King as Regina Hall. That is my fault. I did not have IMDb.
Yeah, we didn't even catch that.
IMDb in front of me.
I did it one time, and then I forgot to correct you.
Yeah, so that is definitely on me. I own that one. Didn't have my my references in front of me. I will make sure to have that this week. So yeah, we'll go over the IMDb page, who wrote it, who's in it, who directed it, all that good stuff. And then we'll kind of go around the squadron. Typically, tonight we are a trio. Decide if we would recommend this movie. It's got to be a yes or no. There is no nuance on the internet. And then it'll be spoiler time. If you don't want to have anything spoiled for you, go ahead and skip forward in the podcast. We're going to have all of the times set up in our show notes for you so you can jump around if you need to. And, even if you are skipping the spoiler segment, please do listen to our Entropy list, which is where we rank it. Where we rank the movie on our Entropy list, which is our big list of everything we've watched for the podcast. It's also on Letterboxd, so you can check it out for yourself. With that being said, I generally hand this off to Adam. Does anyone have IMDb pulled up at the moment? Can help me out here.
I've got you. What do we need? A synopsis?
Yeah, just can you tell me about Tron Legacy?
Oh, of course. Tron Legacy, a 2010 PG film, probably the first PG film we've had on here in a while.
PG only?
It is, yeah. I always thought this was PG-13.
So did I.
Funny enough. But yeah, 2010 PG film directed by Joseph Kosinski. Multiple times on the pod. Some of you would know him from F1, Top Gun Maverick. I believe those are the two things we got of his on here. This is obviously some of his earlier work. It is before both of those films on there. It's going to star Jeff Bridges, Garrett Hedlund, Olivia Wilde. Who else we got on here? Anybody else worthwhile? James Frain.
Yeah, he was in there.
Michael Sheen.
Bruce Boxleitner, I think, is in there. And a very quick cameo from our boy, Cillian Murphy.
Yes, indeed. Yeah. He's in the beginning. He's like the security officer for...
he's on the board at NCOM.
NCOM or whatever it is.
Yes. Yeah. That's such a brain fart for some reason. I don't know why I thought that was fucking Jared Leto. And that's embarrassing because we have a podcast.
Well, yeah. Jared Leto's in the next one.
I'm incredibly sorry.
In that.
Well, Jared Leto is going to be in Tron Ares. He's the main character of that one. So I think maybe
that's where I was getting confused.
I'm sure that's where that was coming from.
Yeah. Well, I am sorry, Cillian Murphy. I don't know if you listen to this podcast or not.
I've heard he's a
but
big
I do
fan.
Apologize for calling you Jared Leto. Yeah. But yeah, so that's kind of a quick breakdown of Tron Legacy. Quick summary. The son of a computer programmer goes looking for his father and ends up inside the digital world that his father designed. He meets his father's corrupted creation and a unique ally who was born inside the digital world.
Okay. I'm feeling decent about that.
Kind of vague. Kind of vague. Yeah.
Enough.
We've heard worse.
So here's where we generally talk about like our first time seeing the movie in this one. And I feel like for Nathaniel, for Pure, this was 2010, so I was 17. I think I just turned 18, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe by the time I'd seen this. This movie holds is very distinct in my mind. I remember where I was when I went to go and see it, and then it played like a weird amount in my life following that. In that, like, I saw the movie in theaters, and then not long after that, we went to Disneyland for like the end of the year. Basically, it was over Christmas break for the holiday, and while they were there, they turned on the weeknights, one of the portions of the park, they like turned it into a Tron world at night. So there was like they had hidden lights and everything, and it like basically looked like the grid at night when you went in there and stuff. So like we got to experience all of that, and I bought the CD soundtrack at that little late night party kind of thing that they had going. And I remember downloading that CD to my laptop, and then that CD / this soundtrack is like what I wrote probably 80% of my papers in college too, while I just like needed to get in the zone and everything. So this movie has played a really weirdly big part in my life for an extended period of time. I've probably seen it 5 or 6. No, I'm going to say probably 10 times at this point. Yeah, I like it. I don't know how well I'll be able to judge it critically, though, is kind of maybe what I'm getting at.
Sure. That's valid. To give you kind of more context on you mentioning you saw it on your 17th, potentially turning 18, the release date of this is December 17th, 2010.
Okay, so I would have just turned 18.
Could be right, depending on when you caught this.
Yeah. I would have, regardless, I would have just turned 18, or I would be freshly 18, I feel like.
Gotcha.
And I think, like, not going into spoilers, there's there's a lot, like, for an 18-year-old to, like, take from this. This is weirdly, like, a lot of, like, heroic fantasy escapism for, like, rather than an 10, 11, 12-year-old or something, the way that they are in the Harry Potters of the world or something. This one is like I think he's like 21 in this or whatever.
Yeah, I would say young adult, late teen.
But it is very much, I mean, I think he's drinking, but it's very much like in that age range of, young adult escapism for sure. I mean, that's probably why I hold fond memories of this movie in some ways as well too. Tyler, I know you're another big fan of this. Do you remember seeing it for the first time in theaters or so?
Not a ton. I know that I had an absolute blast. Sure. One of the other cast members we forgot to mention is Daft Punk. I remember that being one of like the really cool things of, they kind of they really forwarded this whole soundtrack and it turned into something just absolutely iconic and incredible for them. And
I still will listen to it. Like, it is awesome.
Yeah, they did such a phenomenal job with it, and yeah, it really just put a whole nother emphasis in this world that was created for the movie, and just changed the dynamic, and it just meshed so well, and really just kind of made that world feel that much more lived in, especially for the first time viewer. So that was something that I definitely remember really kind of putting a really big emphasis on me on why this movie was so good to begin with. That soundtrack was just absolutely killer. And then obviously, like, seeing it in theaters, you get, like, your best sound for the most part. And yeah, this, not only the soundtrack, but the sound design that was put into this movie was something that really just kind of changed my view on it. It took it to a new level for me for movies. So I was like, oh shit, like, this is what we're capable of at this point in time. And so that was something that I remember being a really big turning point for me as well. Obviously, good story, good plot, great acting, good writing all around. Visual effects were fantastic, but yeah, it was just those couple of other things that really kind of put me on a new love for this movie as well.
Now, let me ask you this time before we get into spoilers as well too. Have you seen OG Tron, original Tron?
Yeah.
You have. I have. Was that had you seen it prior to this one?
I have, yeah.
Okay. Because I've never seen original Tron, and I still have not to this day as well too. And I was just thinking of this as like this being one of those first movies that I remember being almost like a requel reboot as well too, where it was almost like people knew original Tron as like, oh yeah, that's one of the early, if not the first ones that had computer generated effects, but no one really remembers the story or like watches it fondly in any kind of way, the way you do a Back to the Future or
for sure,
another Spielberg.
It never quite hit that iconic level,
right.
Of movieisms. It just never got there. Never really got the following. But it definitely it sparked a lot. And I so much more fundamentals that we get from movies later on in that generation that we just don't realize that it kind of started with Tron, or kind of got a lot of its ideas from that.
And even like you think about like outside marketing, where like there were Tron cabinets and like light cycle cabinets that you see in the movie as well too, and that kind of stuff, like that kind of marketing element, like that was tied in there as well. But partially the other thing I want to get to was that like I think this movie does do a pretty good job of being like, here's what you need to know from the first one, and like we're moving on, you can figure it out from there, kind of thing. And it's not really gonna matter all that much, to be honest with you.
It's funny that you say that, because I did not need to do a rewatch of this movie. I've seen this so many times, and to the point where like I biodigital jazz, baby.
Man, yeah.
So like I know this movie quite well.
And one day,
and
I got in.
And so I did not need to do a rewatch, but it really does give me this it has that comfort element.
I was just gonna say that it is a comfort movie for me as well too. It is definitely one I think that we kind of share on that level, where I think you and I have watched this together like multiple times at various points. To just kind of have on.
I mean, when you live with one of the homies, one of your best friends, and you just get into various amounts of trouble together, then this is like one of those movies you have to absolutely put on.
For sure.
So it's definitely got that comfort level for me. So today got home and I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna turn it on anyways. I got a couple hours before the podcast, so I'm just going to turn it on, have it on the background. I was making dinner and everything like that. So Leah was getting ready to leave to go to a workout class, and she was like, oh, you're watching Tron? And I was like, yeah, we're doing it for the podcast this week. And she's like, oh, she was like, I would totally watch this one with you. And she's like, I don't even know if I understand it yet. And like, this movie's obviously been out for a while, like, so she just likes the visuals and the music.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's cool to see that kind of represent that person, that fandom represented by my wife. Like, I don't really quite truly understand what the whole plot line is, but it's good from just like a movie aspect, like a popcorn movie is kind of the best way that we would describe it.
Yeah.
But then also, I was like, did you know that there's like an original one? And she was like, no. She's like, I don't care. And so she's like, do I need to watch it? And I was like, not necessarily, because and then like literally the beginning of the movie was starting, and it was 1989, where they pull up like that first little bit where he's in the room with
young Sam.
Exactly. Yeah. And like, the little Tron action figures on the shelf and everything like that. And so he's kind of explaining it, and it's so good that they get that in the beginning, that there is that explanation on kind of what went on previous to this. And so I'm like, they actually do a really good job at just kind of telling you what happened. So I'm like, all you have to do is watch the first, 5 minutes and you're good. For any like movie goer outside of like just your very basic movie watcher or a casual movie watcher, I definitely recommend going to watch it. It's definitely one of those fun things where you just kind of get to see the lore of Tron and kind of where this idea came from, and see it kind of come to fruition the first time on screen. It is obviously a rather dated movie, especially in today's standards, so it probably will be relatively a bit of a harder watch for some people, but if you like movies and just seeing where like things come from, then I definitely recommend just watching it. I think it's even shorter than this. This is only like 209, which is pretty good for how good this movie is. Sometimes this movie feels like it could go on for 4 hours for me. And 209 is a pretty good runtime for this movie. They put quite a bit in there for that runtime. I think Tron original is like hour and a half, hour 45 or something like that. So it's definitely not overly time consuming.
Blake, you said you were the most neutral on this movie early on. Are you still feeling so? And I'm going to guess probably.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not as high as the fellas here, the duo. Obviously, we're missing Adam.
It's true.
And I would also assume that Adam is That being said, I'm not low on the movie. I don't dislike it. But I think some of that nostalgia tie-in I don't necessarily have. Now, this is one I saw in high school. I didn't catch this in theaters. I've definitely caught it in high school. And to me, this was the movie that I've seen a handful of times, but not in its full totality.
Sure.
In one setting, because every time I'd like turn on like HBO or Stars or TNT,
it would
in
always
like 2014. This would be playing. Right?
That movie for me is Moneyball. I swear to God, for like a full full year of my college life, like anytime I turned on my TV, like, and this might even be dating myself, we had TVs in college, and like we would plug, and we had a cable plan from the college. Like you could just have TV there. It was great. But like every time I would turn on the TV, we got Stars, and for some reason Moneyball would be playing. We would be in some part of Moneyball. I've seen Moneyball so many times because of that. Mm-hmm. Which great movie. Don't care. Like that. I enjoy it.
Yeah. Shout out Brad Pitt.
Something to be said for those ones.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, this is one where like I don't have the massive nostalgia tie-in, and every time it came on, I would kind of just sit and watch it and observe, and not necessarily be super into the plot. But the visuals are outstanding, right? And those even stand the test of time when I went back to watch it the other day. So those are kind of my quick thoughts. I mean, it's one of those where I don't know if I could say the movie is like ahead of its time, but like the visuals do look excellent for a 2010 film.
Yeah.
Right. Like I do think it looks awesome, because most of this is like you would have to imagine is got to be green screen. I'm sure there's some actual set pieces on some of the stuff, right? Sure. Yeah, and
obviously they've got
in certain places.
They've got like one of the early like commitments to de-aging, which I think they kind of get away with.
Yeah,
I think they kind of get away with it by
just built into the story.
Yeah, exactly. He's always been this way, and he is a program kind of thing. That's not a spoiler. It's part of it. If not, it's a 15-year-old movie, folks. You've seen this. But yeah, I think that's interesting as well too. It is definitely kind of that thing of like, well, let's show you what we can do now as well.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's a year. It's a year post Avatar. So I mean, I think that's intriguing to keep it. This was definitely the height.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I didn't piece that together.
This was at the height of we make every movie 3D as well too. I remember that. I think I might have seen this in 3D. The original time
for sure.
I saw it.
I know I definitely saw this more than once in theaters.
Yeah.
And I know for sure I saw it once in 3D without a doubt.
I think I might have as well.
Yeah. That 2010 time frame, you're absolutely going to get that.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I mean those are kind of some of my brief thoughts. I don't know if I really care for the lead. What is it? Is it Garrett?
So that was
I can't think of his last name. I'm drawing a blank on it. He's just not the most outstanding to me.
I've always,
like when I come back and watch it at this age.
Yeah, I've always had a soft spot for him. Like I always think he was like one of those guys that was like positioned to be a bigger movie star and just never really made it, and that makes me kind of like him more in some ways. However,
yeah, I understand.
I think it does show Kaczynski as a director. It's indicative that when he gets a bigger star, he has more success as well too. Like with Tom Cruise and Top Gun Maverick, with Brad Pitt in F1, like I think that is the piece missing in this movie that didn't put it at like the same level of a tier from 2010 overall that we remember. It's just like, kind of a little bit of a deep cut for those of us that like it a little bit more, I think.
Yeah. And even to go further on that, like this is one, like I didn't realize this was made by Joseph Kosinski until like we just talked about it off pod the other day.
Oh,
right.
Sure.
Or the other week, I think we were doing post pod, right?
Yeah,
I always knew the film, had no idea it was directed by him.
Yeah.
Right? And I was like, oh shit, it is. Similar
I
wasn't aware that this was the second.
Well, and like tying in with that, he was always the one that was like, I want to do a third, I want to do a third, I want to do a third, and then like it was always talking about. And then it was
does he have the third?
No, it's not him. I don't think it was like it was gonna be like David Fincher at like one point as well too. Like I can't look up who.
Oh wow,
who did it?
What's the last one? Tron Ares.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Joachim Ronin. I don't know if I'm pronouncing
yeah.
that correctly.
So one of the
let's see, who is this guy?
never a good idea to when they have one of the Scandinavian folks doing it. It's always someone for hire at that point. His background is like the worst Pirates of the Caribbean and
he's got.
two.
I think he's got 2 Pirates of the Caribbeans.
Yeah,
and something else.
Doesn't bode well. But
okay, fair enough. But yeah, so Tron Legacy. I mean, yeah, those are kind of my first thoughts. It's like I said, it's certainly ahead of its time. The visuals look good. The soundtrack is fucking awesome. I didn't give the proper credit to Daft Punk as Tyler did. Totally.
Yeah, love it. It's iconic.
Accelerated their popularity, right?
Yeah.
And it goes on to kind of speak about them as well. So that's awesome. The sound design is totally awesome too. And like, it's one of those worlds where even though I don't necessarily care for the movie and the actual, I guess you could say like lead acting, right, from Garrett, it is a universe where it's like, man, it'd be killer just to be in there one time. And it kind of makes you feel like maybe this is a leap, but kind of like a Blade Runner 2049-esque. It's like, man, it'd be cool just to like see these types of visuals in person.
I will say, I think it goes toe to toe with Dune 2 in one aspect, which is cool fireworks.
Oh yeah.
You got
that's a good point.
The geometric fireworks in this one, and then you got the weird blob ones in Dune 2. I think we can put it toe to toe there overall.
That's funny. We're gonna have to start adding that bit to the pod of like, what's the coolest like out of reality fireworks, right? We have on the pod. So
I
that's
think
funny.
So. Yeah. That's another weird Letterboxd list.
yeah, for sure. It probably exists out there too.
Yeah, it might
crazy.
be already.
There's no way we're the first people to cover that. But yeah, so that's kind of where we're at.
You recommend?
Ultimately, I would recommend though.
Okay.
Yeah, I would recommend. It is one of those where it is a time capsule of 2010s filmmaking. So,
all right, folks. Well, then
definitely 3 recommends all around.
Let's get into spoilers here. We talked about this a lot for a bit, but 3 recommends all around. From now on, it is going to be spoiler time. I'll play a spoiler noise for you. Let's see. What's the most Tron here? Maybe something robotic?
Spoilers.
All right. Yeah, I think that helped. Shit goes down.
It does.
Yeah.
Break it. Yeah. Break it down to us a little bit, right? Make it digestible for us.
So you got Flynn. Flynn is the son of Jeff Bridges, who is from the original Tron. It seems, right? He on the eve of his company's big OS launch, which is all stuff I didn't know in 2010, whenever this came out. They're talking about like operating system launches and stuff and business, and I was just like, yeah, I'll figure this out soon. I was convinced as well too that I was going to be like working with these people in like 5-10 years. This was the age that I saw it, and I was like, yeah, graduate college, be directing films in like 6-7 years after that. We'll be fine. I need to know these people as my peers here, folks. But anyways, we've got Flynn, Garrett Hedlund. He his dad's disappeared. Jeff Bridges is gone. We don't know where he is. He turns out is on the grid, which is Tron world. Sam goes in there as well too. Shows up, runs into Clue, who is a clone of his dad. And who's supposed to run the perfect system, and that means that he runs kind of an authoritarian regime, in where he is the leader, and all the other programs are following him. Turns out Jeff Bridges lives outside the world, has got kind of a samurai, Buddhist lifestyle going on there. Olivia Wilde's here. We haven't talked about her yet. And she is part of a group of people who spawned out of nowhere one day. They were a self-creating program. They didn't come from anyone, so they Jeff Bridges views them
Manifested.
they view them as the next leap forward in biodigital jazz, man. And he sees it as this big help for humanity. She's the last one. Clue, it turns out, wants to escape onto the real world, out of the grid. He's been trying to get everyone, all of the programs, reprogrammed to be his army and do so. They got to stop it. Will they? Won't they? I don't know. Spoilers, they stop it. Flynn lives. They ride off into the sunset on a beautiful Ducati with Olivia Wilde behind him. And that's Tron Legacy.
Classic shot. Yeah.
Folks, well, that's been Back Row Banter. We'll catch you guys later. And
yeah, man, I would say the story in this is not its strong suit. Even like when I was rewatching it this time, like to Tyler's point, like I pulled this up on my iTunes earlier on my Apple TV. I was an hour into it already, so this is definitely one that I just throw on at certain points.
For sure.
And again, even on this watch, I was like going through and I was like, okay, yeah, this happens, and like I can see where these are connecting in other places. Like this movie for me is at that point where like I have deconstructed it and seen it so many times that like the plot isn't even almost a thing at this point. It's just a series of events that happen. But like it was almost refreshing to rewatch this. I don't have to watch this movie with captions. I know it that well at this point. But it's interesting to come back to it and like see it, as Blake said, as a time capsule. It's very interesting as like this to see where movies have come now. And like if you think I mean, I guess they're releasing a new Tron movie soon, but it's like if this movie didn't exist and they were just starting this now as like we're bringing back Tron, how different I think it would be as a film. Overall, I think that, there'd just be so much more world building and setup, I guess. I think in this one, it's still kind of like, for all of its faults, a pretty self-contained story. And I think that's kind of like what we've been talking about, where you don't need to know the huge background for everything. It's not like it takes everything from original Tron. It is telling kind of its own little side story. And again, I don't think we can emphasize enough. I think this movie has had such big legs because of the Daft Punk soundtrack. Like, I don't think that can be talked about enough. I think that is a huge part of this movie. I think this and the Social Network score, which was created by Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross from Nine Inch Nails, I view as this really actual big shift in movie making to kind of like having more of a rock star soundtrack. Like I think there is something to be said. There's not a score to this movie the way that there is a Gladiator, or the way that there is even in an Inception with the big horns and everything that's always going on. This has a soundtrack, and it's not the same as like what Guardians or like in bad cases the original Suicide Squad become, where it's the needle drop movies where it's just songs that we all know and that's become the soundtrack. It is a wholly different thing, and I think that exists as kind of a weird bridge here between time periods in some ways. I've talked a little bit about it. Now someone else talk.
Yeah, no worries, man. Like that's a great takeaway. I mean, I think what I was going to try to get to, and obviously you just gave a breakdown of like the entire film and how some people have gripes with kind of like the laid out plot where a lot of this seems to hang on to your point, the Daft Punk soundtrack as well as the visuals. But I guess Tyler, like, what are kind of your core memories of seeing this? So obviously you caught it in real time at a theater where I didn't have the opportunity to do that. And obviously you've seen it numerous times since then. So like what are the things you enjoy from the movie? What are your core memories? What's your favorite scenes, dialogues, banters?
Kind of like I said earlier, I like the fact that they do such a good job at kind of explaining what happened prior to this. Within like the first 5-10 minutes, it gives you a really good setup as to kind of what's going on, and they kind of make it a really easy segue to kind of give you, what's going on in the present moment. I loved seeing Sam jump off the building the first time. I'm like, what a fucking baller ass move. And then like the moment where he's like, do you know there's a board? That board works for the shareholders. Do you know who the shareholder is? And he's like, I don't know, it's some kid. And then he just kind of gives him that look and he puts his hands out and he's like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
And then he just fucking backdives off the building. That's definitely one of like the coolest moments. Dude, seeing his like little apartment for the first time, I'm like, dude, what a cool like little place under a bridge. It's just made out of like shipping containers. And I'm like, what a cool way to like say I'm a fucking billionaire without saying I'm a fucking billionaire.
On rewatch, that bit where he's on the top of the crane, that security guard is going above and beyond. By the way,
he's not paid enough to be going up there.
No, he's not, man. I'm sorry. I'm at that point when if I'm that security guard, when that guy jumps off, I fall off too. I like something. I'm sure that there's something about like at him not being on the other end. I like jar and then I'm dead. I'm fall off, or I freak out because he just fell off as well too. Like I just know that's the end of me. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, sure, sure. That was kind of one scene that Ty was talking about in the beginning. That basically the backwards dive off the off kind of the scaffolding of the building. That's like going into this. Like I said, I haven't seen it a ton of times, but more so just kind of in passing. Where it hit me, I was like, okay, like this is really a PG movie, because like that dialogue's like it's like, hey kid, what are you doing? You know, it's like one of those, and I'm like, oh, this is really PG. And like I guess it didn't really hit me because I've only paid attention to the visuals of the remaining 150 minutes of the movie, right? Once they're kind of in the grid and everyone's in these neon skin suits that look super fucking cool. It's like that was kind of the piece that opened me. I was like, oh shit, I totally forgot this is a PG movie.
That's another scene that always sticks with me, is the when he's getting the suit for the first time and the like 4 ladies come out of the walls, and then
that's dope. Sirens.
Like the sirens cool. And they got and they get that really cool sound when they start the finger torch. Sound design of this movie it
is awesome.
It's really good. But then like it was another one, rewatching it today, I was like, are they always there? Are they just stuck in the walls? And then, like, obviously you see the other one later on. So that implies that there's some sort of shift culture that they have where they're just like, all right.
It's just like their job.
For 8 hours, you're either on or you're off kind of thing. Like, you really only get to talk to your coworkers for about 30 seconds at a time. But, you know, at least you're making good money. It's there's also, I always remember when he walks out of that room he's just got like the like Johnny Bravo head bob. Like this is the things you notice after you've watched this movie like 20 times. He's just got a real sway going on as he's out of there as
real
well.
Saturday
too.
Night Fever walk going on.
Genuinely.
I
love the games.
That's kind of leading into like one of my next like favorite scenes is kind of that whole sequence of like them fighting the disc fights. It's so cool the way that like that whole platform kind of like morphs, and then he's trying to figure out like what the fuck he's even doing here. And then he finds out, like he can kind of just, run outside of that. And then, next thing you know, like the whole thing morphs into like a 4-way platform and he's fighting Rinsler. And I'm like, oh shit.
And I didn't notice until this rewatch that he actually, so in the first kind of sequence, he taps the floor and the guy falls through it. And he tries that again to Rinsler, and Rinsler lands on either side of it and like splits his legs, and that's where you get the face off. I always knew you got the face off moment. I guess I never really thought about the fact that he tried it again on that one. That was something I actually picked up on this watch. Just another cool little detail overall. Yeah, that's again a great sequence that is definitely, stuck in my memory for sure.
Yeah, even when he splits the two discs apart, and he just kind of has that very ballet-esque kind of movement to him, and I'm like, dude, this guy just fucking runs this bitch. Like, he's undefeated. Like, nothing beats Rinsler.
He's got the Benoit balls as well too.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, there's so many iconic kind of moments in this movie. The first time Clue comes out onto the grid is fucking awesome when he's
Just
walking
the
down the
light
stairs. Yeah, and there's also some really funny like comedic parts to this, as we've kind of already explained, like where they're cutting his clothes off, and he's like, it has his zipper.
Yeah.
And like obviously there's just like they don't care about like those like kind of actual fabric clothing. And then same thing where he's like, all right, he's like getting ready to fight Clue, and he's like, what do you do with this thing? And he's like, I'll give you a clue. It's not
that.
And then like the whole stadium starts laughing, and so there's some pretty funny parts. And then again, when he meets Olivia Wilde for the first time, he's like, oh, we're never gonna make that. And then like they land, and she just like made it.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of good parts in here. But yeah, I mean, it's hard to kind of pick out like favorite iconic visuals and stuff like that. One of the other two big things is like when you first see like the transportation ship like come over his head and pick him up, like even that sound effect. Yeah, it just sounds like a subwoofer is just constantly breathing.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's.
I love how impractical they are too. They're a big
man.
Weird U. Like, why would it look like that? I don't know. It's just grid shit. Like, I'm into that.
Yeah.
I like the.
And then again, you go into vehicle design overall.
Sure.
I mean, you look at like the light cycles, the car that Olivia's driving.
Yeah.
You even go into like the old school light cycle, the one that he has sitting in his living room.
Which
and then
was
like all the flying aspects, and then the train. I mean, like there's just so many things that are so well thought out in here that just connect everything and make the continuity so good through this movie. But the flow is so good.
Yeah, at that Disney thing, they had the light cycle built out as well too, and like in there that you could like take pictures on and stuff. It was super cool, man. They were real awesome. Which I love all of that on the actual light cycle course and all that stuff too. I think that's great. There was something I was gonna say. That was a thought that I had. Oh man, and it was based off of exactly what you were saying earlier. I think as soon as Jeff Bridges actually shows up in the movie in Jeff Bridges form as well too, actual Jeff Bridges, not Clue. Great.
Oh, so in the real world.
Yeah. Well, when he's old Jeff Bridges there, and he's he gets to see him. Think he's great. Always love to see Jeff Bridges. He's just one of my favorite screen presences. My favorite joke in the movie is not actually a joke at all, but it is the line reading of yeah.
That's like one of the best things ever.
From Am I to create the perfect system in the flashback. That will be stuck in my head forever.
For sure.
As well as biodigital jazz, man. That's
that's the one I even knew going.
Or I'm gonna go knock on the sky and
listen to the sound. Yeah, it's really just like Jeff Bridges. You're not acting. This is just you. I can tell. You're just
100%.
You're just talking here. And like, I mean, I'm here for it, but it's a great performance from him. I want one of those coats. It's got the big lights on the inside that you just get to wear. Sure. Feel like there's
some cool gear in here.
That's the fit that I'm missing in my life. Also, shout out Michael Sheen. Shows up, always unhinged, always amazing.
Zeus.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
Live
now, do you guys? Do you It's like, do you guys know what we're expecting for Tron Ares?
I don't.
Like, is this based off comics?
No, I don't think so. So there's obviously the original movie, and then there's the
from what'd you say, the 80s?
Yeah. And then as far as I know, this
Okay.
was the like really only sequel media that I knew besides like the video games where you had like the light cycle video games, and I think there was a Tron video game.
Okay.
But then I know there was a show. There was an animated show which I think had Elijah Wood. That was Tron Uprising.
Oh.
That was like it was on what at that point Disney XD, which has become Disney Plus basically or whatever.
Okay. Yeah.
But supposedly that's pretty good. That's like in that like Clone Wars, Star Wars realm where it's like basically for like 9 to 12-year-olds, but I think it ran for 2 or 3 seasons and is supposedly pretty good.
Okay.
And then I think it's really just Tron Ares. I don't think there's been anything else. I
Right.
wouldn't be surprised if there's some comics after that, but I don't think there's been like there's not been something that is continuing the story from this onwards. So I'm interested to see.
I don't think there's any like, I guess what I would call source material for Ares. I think this is something that they have kind of created on their own. They're not basing this off of anything like a comic book or a graphic novel or a series or anything like that. So it'll be very interesting. I haven't watched anything but like, the very first teaser.
Yeah. No.
So it'll be cool to see. I know Nathaniel has his personal grapplings with Jared Leto. They got into an argument one night at a restaurant, and Nathaniel just doesn't like him, and so we'll see how it plays out.
Google it, folks.
Yeah, he's kind of Nathaniel's arch nemesis in a way. Think of like SpongeBob and Plankton.
Sure,
right?
Sure.
Is that his name?
Yeah.
So
That's funny. Okay, yeah, I was curious on that to know like if they were pulling any. I guess the verbiage is source material to Tyler's point. So I mean, does that you two being pretty big on this and having a lot of nostalgia back to Tron Legacy, the second film? Are you guys nervous going into the third one of knowing really it's all in the director's hands or in the screenwriters?
Yeah,
or
man.
what do you guys? How do you guys feel about that?
I don't love it. To Tyler's point, I don't like Jared Leto. Don't think he should be acting anymore.
Yeah.
Don't think he should have a job. But again, you can Google it. Anyways, and like seeing that director, don't love that. Really excited for the soundtrack. Soundtrack sounds awesome. It's
for sure.
To that point,
Sure.
it is the 9 Inch Nails guys, Atticus Ross, Trent Reznor, who I was referencing earlier, who did the Social Media or Social Network soundtrack. So very fascinated by that. I'll be honest, the trailers I did see looked cool. So like mild fingers crossed, but like I like this movie means more to me beyond it as a movie.
Yeah, of course.
So I don't think it's ever going to be that, right? I think like that movie in my life now, for like this year is a different movie. Maybe 28 years later, maybe not. Still got to get it on the pod.
Would you have been upset if 30 Seconds to Mars was doing soundtrack?
I might not see it at that point.
Would that have sent you like over the fucking edge?
I was just like, no, can't handle it.
That's funny.
Should we talk Adam's review?
Sorry, I was coughing a lot. Laughing makes me cough.
I'll go then. Yeah, you want to.
Yeah.
You want to give Adam his due diligence here?
Yeah, so
Adam wrote in, listeners. He gave us his review, some thoughts about it, as well as his ranking, which means we'll be able to actually put it on the entropy list.
Just to like be like, hey, we know how much you love timestamps. We timestamped where your voiceover should go. So here, make him record it and then
have him read his own. Yeah, right.
Go ahead, Blake.
Where are we at here? Okay, so Adam's thoughts. Love this movie and have an odd relationship with it. I saw it when it came out when I was only 10. I remember thinking it was cool and then kind of stopped thinking about it until the past couple of years ago when I rewatched it. And since rewatching it, it's a movie that I think about often. It's not a perfect movie, but does a lot of really cool things. And of course, there's a soundtrack, which is arguably the best part of the movie and one of the best soundtracks of all time. It's not uncommon for me to put on a movie soundtrack from time to time. Excuse me, to put on this movie soundtrack from time to time. And this probably has the most plays. I miss Daft Punk. That's Adam's thoughts. Straight from Tron Adam.
Tron Adam. There you go. So yeah, let's rank this bad boy up on the Entropy list, which is our big list.
Adam may actually be the highest on this thing, I guess. I don't know. You guys had some nostalgia too, so I don't know.
See. More than nostalgia, I'd say this was formative in some ways, but
Oh, okay. Oh, that's almost the step above nostalgia.
I think so. I mean, like, I think this is about as close as you get to a DNA movie post, like, as a kid, right? This is like
post childhood.
Yeah, this is like you're making the transition to adulthood. This was one of those movies for me that I definitely remember and took with me from there. So let's pull it up on the Entropy list. Which, Blake, talk to me. Do you have perhaps have the tiers pulled
tier
up?
List?
Yeah,
I do. What's your question, brother?
Just where give me the tier list in general. Give me the windows.
Yeah. So we've got S tier is going to be Dune Part 2 to Lord of the Rings Fellowship of the Ring. We're going to go A tier is going to be your T2 to Top Gun Maverick.
Sure.
B tier is going to be Glass Onion, which is 94 for the listeners, down to The Notebook at 151. C tier is going to be Gladiator at 152. Down to Blind Spotting, of course, brother, 189. D tier Ferrari 190. All the way down to the unfortunate Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. I don't think any of us are going below D tier on this.
No.
That's kind of my thought here. Yeah. So we'll save it at that.
All right. So Adam's volunteered himself here. He's given us a thing that's 79, which would be bumping Boys in the Hood to 80 and being just below American Psycho, which I believe is a low B tier. Did we say then at that point?
No, that's
an A tier.
A tier.
A tier. Okay.
Yeah, that's a low mid.
Low to mid A tier. Right.
So, does anybody have Adam beat? Right at 79, he's above Boys in the Hood, below American Psycho.
Nathaniel and probably myself too.
Oh, okay. Wow. Do you want to let it rip, Ty?
No, because I'm still thinking.
Fair enough. Nathaniel, do you want to let it rip, or we pass?
Yeah, no. I think so. Tyler's correct. I am a little bit above it, but I'm not by much.
Oh, wow. Okay. I'm off. Sometimes you don't know your friends, ladies and gentlemen.
No, because if I went up to you and said, Blake, this is about as close to a DNA movie as you can get, I feel comfortable with telling me that you would say, okay, that's top 100 for him then.
Yeah.
So here's what I'll say. There's a couple movies in Adam's range here that I would watch. I'll watch this before that, actually. Like, there's a couple here that I will always turn on Tron Legacy before I do that. But the one that it runs into,
I assume you're hitting Barbie Warfare.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Wait. How far up are they? Where's Barbie?
I mean, those are actually right below.
Oh, right there.
Right there.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah. No. I would watch this before them. So my cap is Scream at 73. So I'm gonna go 74. I can't.
I figured.
Yeah, Scream's right there with this movie. They're they're with each other there. I can't put this above Scream. I can definitely put it above the Iron Claw. Like, I like the Iron Claw.
Sure.
I don't like it as much as this movie. Boy and the Heron, I love. Don't like it as much as this movie on a personal level. But Nightcrawler, American Psycho, I'd put this up there with it, to be honest with you. Like, I think those are
Okay.
I think there's something to be said. I think for me, this is that, like, I'm giving it its nostalgia due, but I'm also giving it that, like, again, it just hit me at a certain point in my life. I will always remember that. It's formative in some ways. So that's where I am.
That's valid. I figured you were, once you said you were in Adam's kind of ballpark, I figured your cap was green.
To be
right.
And to be honest, I didn't expect to be. I thought I would be lower. Sure. But once he put me in there, the fact that there was others around there that I would put this above, like, easily, made me feel more comfortable in that range. So
Okay. Ty, you ready, or you want me to do mine?
I think I am, but I want to see where you go first.
Okay.
Strategy.
I'm sorry, fellas. I might be tanking this.
Go for it, bro.
Not that I was gonna say I really don't think your score is gonna affect my score. Sure. We're gonna be so far apart, but
sure. Yes, I mean it's like I said, it's one where I can respect the craft. I respect the visuals for kind of what it was at that time, and the soundtrack obviously phenomenal in this. But as far as like the kind of the cookie cutter plot, I just don't really care for any of the characters. Definitely don't really care for the main lead in this one, and just not having like that teenage nostalgia tie or young adult nostalgia tie that kind of the group has here. I'm low, man. It's like I'm browsing into like C tier, B tier, and I'm like, I mean, I don't know. Then I'm getting to C tier at Gladiator. Then I'm looking at like, you guys know I'm fond of Pearl.
Like,
go ahead, brother.
If you were like, hey, where does Tron Legacy rank on an objective tier list? I feel comfortable saying it's a B tier movie. I think my nostalgia pushes it up much higher.
Okay.
But so
okay,
go ahead and nuke it what you got. Like this is the point of the pod.
I'm not gonna. Yeah, I'm not gonna nuke it here, boys.
We need you to bring us back down. This is why the Entropy list exists. It's so that we can do this to each other, so we get a much more of an even playing field here.
Oh,
yeah, that's valid.
Back down.
So. All right, Tom.
All right, yeah, I'm not going quite D tier here. I think I'm still looking at C, but then I mean I'm looking at your Pearl. I'm looking at The Creator, another sci-fi kind of AI type of film. Doesn't have any source material to go off of at that point, and so I'm kind of comparing it to that. And I think I'm in this. I think I'm in that ballpark of the 160s. But ultimately, I think where I'm going to have to go. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to get to it. Honestly, I think where I'm going to have to go is talk about nostalgia and like potentially DNA movies, and like mine's there. And maybe this is total confirmation bias because it was my birthday pick, boys. But like that's Pitch Black to me. Right. And like different film. Right. I do think this visually looks way better. Right. But as far as like something that I've seen, like, and I was like, I can put it on at any time. I think I'm going Pitch Black. And ultimately it's sci-fi, otherworldly. That's where I'm going, man. So I'm actually going to put this at 167.
Okay.
And that would be below Pitch Black, right? I'm on the tier list, not the Entropy list, so I don't know if this is completely updated per se, but does that read right, boys?
I think that's
the 167.
Hold on,
being below Pitch Black. Let me fact check it for you. Sorry, listeners, we're
no, that's right. Yeah, that's below Pitch Black and above Underwater.
Okay. Yep, let's do it.
Okay. All right. So Tyler, have you got yours yet?
Yeah. You know, we're virtually like 100 movies away from each other, Blake.
Yeah.
Probably, actually, it's gonna end up being a little bit more. I'm gonna bump this thing up quite a bit in comparison to Blake, but from the other two, it's nothing too crazy. But this does carry quite a bit of nostalgia for me. Like I explained earlier, it really does have that comfort factor for me. This is very much of like one of like my prisoner movies. If I got the right vibe, the right weather, you know, you You could just curl up in a little blanket and just have this thing on.
Yeah.
The other cool thing too is, like I said, this has so much value for like your casual movie watcher. This is just genuinely a good popcorn movie. Although it does have quite a bit of a plot to it, it's not something that like the average person isn't also going to pick up and just understand as well. So I think that carries a lot of gravity with it as well. Visual aspects, I talked about like continuity, flow, like overall, like how much they fit into just over 2 hours. I think that they did such a good job with this overall. I think this has reached kind of like an iconic level. I have never really met anybody that I'm like, dude, have you seen Tron Legacy? And they're like, yeah, dude, what a dog shit movie.
Sure.
I think everybody's always
I
relatively positive, or overly positive on it. I still think this visually, effects wise, stands up to the test of time. It's not like this movie looks bad by any means. I think that the visual effects are going to still look good 10 years from now when I watch this again. And potentially show it to like a kid of mine somewhere down the road. Like I think this will just kind of be one of those movies that that lives in the Dallas household for quite some time. So I'll put it close to another couple movies that I hold pretty close, and I'm gonna put this at 58, just below Spirited Away, and above It Follows.
You're okie dokie. So doing the math there gives us a grand total of 94.5 is what I'm getting. Are you anyone fact checking me there on that?
Yep. No, I just I did the same. So yeah, that does sound right.
So that puts us,
which ultimately, yeah, where does that put us at in terms of movies? And I'll tell you where that puts us at on the tier list.
So that is between, well, I guess that would be 94 is Glass Onion, 95 is The Gentleman. So are you rounding up to 95 or down to 94?
I think you would just put them between the two.
Okay, so split the difference.
Right.
Below
So
Glass Onion, above
yeah.
Gentleman. For context, that also gives you Superman is right below Gentleman. That's 2025 Superman. Top Gun Maverick is right above Glass Onion. Also Redline up there as well too. I don't hate that. I like that spot where it's landed. I think there are some others that I would obviously slot this above, but that's a good spot for me. A little,
well, that's
close to some Kaczynski areas there.
It is absolutely with Top Gun Maverick there. So that's actually the tippy top of B tier. The break for B tier is actually Glass Onion. So I guess I will leave it to the group. I mean, if you guys feel strongly about it, we can put it.
No, I like it there.
But we'd actually. Okay, all right, that's fine. Yep.
Because again,
so it's at the tippy top of B tier.
On the Kaczynski scale, that's below Maverick and above F1. And I think like an objective brain, Nathaniel, that is accurate.
You agree with that?
Yeah.
Well, there it is then. That locks that in. I will add that to the tier list here. And we will keep it rolling.
All right, folks. I need to make a note of that, where that is for Adam. And yeah, do you guys want to do any what we're watching? I have watched a few things if we want to discuss that real quick. I know it's been a bit of a longer episode, even though it's only the three of us. Or we can go ahead and just vamoose out of here.
I don't have any
tired.
major updates.
And yeah, we talked about football. So obviously there was a Formula One race. And Max Verstappen was plus 20 seconds on the McLarens, which is something we haven't seen in
was a good race
pretty much all season. So I was very excited to see that. He also broke the record for the fastest race in F1 history, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, that was crazy.
And he also has the fastest lap there now, which is also pretty cool. So, but that's pretty much it.
Yeah, Blake, what I'll shout out to you. Have you seen the others?
You know what, brother? No, I have not, but unfortunately, I know the entire premise and I know the twist. So that's one of those things where it's always shied me away from going to watch it because I've had it spoiled.
I think it's still worth a watch.
25 years of pop culture. Okay. And I figured because people say it's excellent.
Yeah.
So was that your first viewing?
Yeah, it was. And like I think I had known about that at some point as well too, but like I owned it. It was one that I like bought at Best Buy, I think on like a half off sale or something at some point. So I just had a copy, and I was looking for things to watch the other day, and threw that one on, and yeah, I think it's pretty good still. Like it's definitely more that turn of the century 2000s like scary ghost stories, like
of course, yeah.
I want to say like pre-Conjuring, pre all of that. So like it's just definitely not as like you're not looking for the ghost as much kind of thing. And it definitely tries to play off the twist, but I still think it's pretty good. I think the performances are really good. And like the fact that the kids having this like disease where they can't be exposed to sunlight means that like they are always closing doors and like everything's shot in candlelight. That's really cool as well too. So
yeah. Yeah.
I'd definitely say still worth a watch. I also watched Death of a Unicorn. Did I say that last week?
No, you didn't. That's one I actually put that on for like background.
Okay.
Yeah, and I did not finish it, brother. It was not appealing to me.
So I definitely had it on for background as well.
Were you able to get through it?
I was, yeah. It was definitely one that my lady had recommended as well too, and seen, and it reminded me of a time, and I of like I don't know, just like it felt very mid 2010s to me in some ways, like almost like a knockoff, like in the era of like it would have come out around when like 21 Jump Street came out, like that's really what it reminded me of in some ways. But yeah, I thought it was fine. I kind of enjoyed it. Thought it was a good little movie, but didn't love it kind of thing. That's mostly what I've been watching. I feel like I've been watching something else, maybe like a TV show. Oh, I've been keeping up with Alien Earth. Tyler, have you been watching that?
I got through episode 3, working on getting through episode 4.
Okay. So yeah, enjoying that. Yeah, that's all I've been really getting to. I think I said I watched some baseball, watched the fights on Saturday. Watched the race actually. Yeah, Blake, you've been watching anything?
Not much, man. Ton of football this week, man. Ton of football. So obviously excited. That's my season, as they say. So yeah, doing a ton of that.
Now, do you
will obviously watch the game tomorrow as well? Go ahead, bro.
Have you picked your college team this year for what you're doing?
Not that I'm following that much. I'll pretty much kind of just put on any time on Saturday or Sunday, right? I got the screen on and like
the Grizz always accept
whatever the best
team
is, whatever the best, most competitive game is. Sure. I'll turn to that one. So, but I will, for the sake of you, Nathaniel, I will keep an eye on the Grizz as I feel like I have been doing the past 5 years now. And anytime they're playing, I'll shoot you a text. And obviously they'll be in the playoffs as well. So
hopefully we'll see. I genuinely I don't know if like their schedule might not be like strong enough to like merit immediate playoff for berth or something like that. Sure. We'll see. I don't know. Things are always weird. This is kind of the fun part of FBS. Like I feel like I don't love college football because it's almost like at a certain level it's wild, like it's just its own thing. But I do love I love one level removed from it where everything's a bit worse.
That's like peak college football. I agree. Yeah, the top of the top is like how much millions can we pay people to win?
Yeah, no, it's
you know what
crazy.
I mean? And like the level right below that is like can we put together a good team? Can we coach right? Can we? I agree.
It's got that little bit of carnival atmosphere that I think appeals to like the MMA fan in me as well too, because that's a part of it as well. Like MMA, they try and be a legitimate sport up there with NFL, boxing, all that kind of stuff, but it's fucking like there's an element of pro wrestling and like the carnival in there as well too. We need that. We need that in sports, folks. And you get that at the FBS level, or no, I get this confused all the time. FCS level.
FCS, yeah.
Where
So it
everyone's
looks
a
like
little
they
bit
play
worse.
at North Dakota.
That's gonna be a tough
and
one.
North Dakota was pretty good.
One.
Not the infamous North Dakota State. But North Dakota is still a pretty good program. So that's what they got this week. Really quick, flipping sports though. So like I said, I've been watching a lot of football and kind of browsing through a few things. But there's a boxing match this week.
Terrence Crawford, Canelo Alvarez.
Yes.
Yeah.
I forgot that was this week. I thought it was next week.
On Netflix.
But yeah, it is. It's
on
Saturday.
Netflix,
It's Saturday night.
Yeah. Glad to see that.
So,
I'm sure that'll be on.
One I'm definitely going to try to take a look at that for sure.
Do you think Bud could do it? That's so much weight, man. It's so much weight.
I know. He's jumping weight classes. That's different.
I don't think he can. I don't think he can knock him out.
Canelo is. I don't think he'll be able to knock him out. But Canelo is older.
He is.
Right. He's obviously Hall of Fame talent, one of the greats.
Absolutely.
But he's on the wrong side of the age bracket. Right.
Yeah, but so is Bud.
It's
Bud's not young. Isn't he like 36?
Yeah, I feel. Yeah. I hear you. Yeah. Bud's probably 30 something. I'd agree.
And like Canelo's,
old Canelo is.
I think Canelo's coming down now. Because isn't it like Bud's fought mostly at like 150 or 140 or something like that. Like he's a light weight class. I think Canelo's like a mid.
Oh wow! So I'm actually wrong on that. So Canelo's actually younger.
I thought he might be
by about a year.
Okay,
about a year.
He's just been fighting for forever. Like
I guess that's what I'm missing. I remember fucking Canelo fighting Floyd in like the 2010.
So that was 10. I think that was early Canelo. I mean? Yeah.
And that's young Canelo though.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That's very young Canelo. So we'll see. I forgot what weight class they're fighting.
I think it's 168, maybe.
Okay. Yeah, and I feel like Bud fights like 140ish.
Yeah, that's what I want to say. Like I think he's. Yeah. So he'll definitely. You would think he would have the speed advantage, and you think obviously Canelo would have the power, but Bud just knocks people out. But Canelo is also so much heavier.
It'll be good. Yeah. So it's
Yeah,
the 13th. I totally forgot about that. I saw it the other day. So yeah, that's one I will try to put some Netflix usage to. Right?
Did you see too the rumors are Tank Davis, Jake Paul next? Brother, it's the only way he could get an actual fight.
Dude.
Yeah.
That's sick, dude.
Apparently, the rumors are it's going to be an exhibition as well too, so it wouldn't count against Tank's record. But like, that is the only way he'll ever fight a legitimate boxer before he fights for a title. Like,
you're talking about Paul. This is the only way the Paul brother would do it. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. He's probably walking around at 6'1", 210.
6'2" at least. I think he's a little bit taller, and I think he's at least 50, 60 pounds on a good day over Tank.
Yeah, Tank is like fucking 5'6".
Does he? I think he might fight heavier. Hold on. Let me
think
see
so?
this.
I think he fights a $130-ish.
No. No. I'm sorry. I'm not talking about Tank. I'm talking about Jake.
Oh yeah. That's just like,
it might be. It might be north of 200.
What the fuck are we doing, dude?
Yeah,
that's sick. What are we doing, man? But I mean, I guess everything now is such paydays and whatnot. But
so
no, I
he's
did
saying
not see
he's saying he's going to try and make.
They were doing Jake Paul.
Paul's going to try and make 195. He last two have been 200.
What's Tank fight now?
Tank's like 130.
What is he going to try?
At least 130.
Yeah, what are we doing, man?
It's the only way.
What are we doing?
It's the only way he'll fight a legitimate boxer, man.
I just don't see that. He has
made that shit a joke.
Yeah, it's honestly sick. It's honestly sick, dude. It's sick, and I can't even imagine if somebody who's like actually.
Well, I think that's
into
the thing.
That sport and a big fan. That's like a slap in the face, dude. That's fucking ridiculous, and it's gonna draw so much. Create so much money.
I don't even think it will. I think genuinely the peak of this was the Mike Tyson fight. I think everything else after for Jake Paul is diminishing returns because people don't know Tank Davis, like the mainstream folks. Like sports fans will know Tank Davis. Boxing fans know
yeah.
Tank Davis. MMA fans know Tank Davis. But the layman, he's not nearly as famous as Mike Tyson. Nowhere close.
I hear you. Right. Like, I don't think Haley knows who Tank Davis is.
No. And then if they were like, oh, Jake Paul's fighting this weekend, who's he fighting? Tank Davis. Who's that? Oh, he outweighs him by 60 pounds. What's the interest there? Like, no one's going to give as much money for that. Like, he'll have this exhibition fight with Tank. If it goes through, he will probably win, maybe, or it'll be a draw. That'll probably be what happens. And then he'll fight for like one of the lesser belt heavyweight titles and claim that as a title. Maybe he wins that, or like not heavyweight, cruiserweight or whatever he's fighting at,
Yeah.
Maybe he wins that. Like, cause you think about it, there's 4 belts in essence that go up at any given time. One, they can just decide to go to him or something. And then he'll have one big fight, like belt versus belt, and he'll lose. And that'll be the end of his legitimate boxing career. Maybe he'll fight Floyd after that or something, or Manny Pacquiao at 60. Anyway, sorry, we're rambling at this point, well into the end of it. Let's get out of this. We've been
no worries.
That's been what we're watching, and a little bit of fight sports talk to go along with our football talk.
Absolutely sickening, ladies and gentlemen.
I don't think it's official. So like, this is all hearsay, anyways, I guess. And with our luck, it won't be. But hopefully, it won't be. We'll see. But I think next week we said are we doing one from the short list, or are we doing? Is there a new one out?
I thought it was. I got you right here, brother.
Long walk. Yeah, long walk.
It is.
I am
Tyler's
excited
correct.
for that.
The long walk. Yes, it is.
So
Tyler's correct.
Check us out next week. Long walk. That should have everyone back, full squadron for us, and we'll go from there. Thanks for anyone who's listened this far. You are my favorite type of listener. Thanks for putting up with us. Hopefully, you've enjoyed it. You can always reach us at Back Row Banter Pod on Instagram and Gmail, Twitter, maybe not anymore, Letterboxd. We're all around there. Blake, where can the people find you?
Letterboxd to BlakeHolder on there. Log some things, rate them 5 stars. PSN, Mr. Watercoolers, Xbox, Mr. Watercoolers. Tyler.
You can find me on Instagram, Letterboxd, and X. All Tyler Dowse VID alias.
And yeah, you can find me on Instagram, Blue Sky, Letterboxd, and Asking Grick or Nathaniel G92. And that'll be it for us, folks. Be excellent to each other, and we will BRB.
America. Ready for another lesson.
Need you to tell me that the Bears have started, unfortunately, poorly?
Yeah, man. I mean,
I'm hearing the word "same old shit" thrown around a lot.
Yeah, dude. It's early though, so you try not to.
Yeah. Now you being a reasonable human among my friends here. They were playing the Lions. Am I not mistaken in that? Like, or who were they?
No, Packers played the Lions.
Okay, got it.
Bears played the Vikings.
Vikings, got it. Now, were we expecting the Vikings to be below the Bears in general?
In transparency, I'd have to say no. I mean, the Vikings did win 14 or 15 games last year, but they have a new quarterback.
Right.
Young but they obviously won a ton of fucking games last year.
Sure.
Right? They're
and they've got they've been good for a couple years now, if I'm not mistaken. As well too.
Yeah.
Right. Like, damn. The NFC, we play in the North.
Yep.
So there's just a stacked division in general at this point.
It is.
It
is.
Okay. But was it a situation where the game was almost in hand and then we blew it, or what was going on here?
I mean, I would say, yeah, they came out. It was one of those textbook games where on paper, the Bears were playing so much better than the score dictated in real time for the first 3 quarters. But the Vikings were good enough to never allow the game to get that far out of reach, which is what good teams do. Right. So despite playing pretty bad, the Vikings always were within one possession of the game. And ultimately, when it came down to the fourth quarter, they executed way better, as good teams do. And the Bears just completely failed, as bad teams do when it gets crunch time, right? And that's ultimately what happened. But I mean, I guess you would have to say there was some progression from last year to this year for the Bears.
Last year was
it's week 1, new coach.
Last year is kind of like it was the O-line, right? That was just getting blown up, and our quarterback couldn't really perform.
Yeah, I'd say combination of O-line performance, horrible coach, right? Probably one of the worst coaches last year.
Poor
right?
coaching,
just terrible decisions, for sure. And I think some of that's eliminated here with the current coach. Granted, it's only his first game, but it seemed like he coached a better game.
They get him some help on the line as well too.
Yeah, the line played better, but it's it's a lot of variables in football, man. The Bears were, objectively playing a pretty good team.
Yeah.
It's their first time, right? So I tried to temper my expectations of of going in, but I mean it only sucks because they were winning majority of the game.
Sure.
Right? It's that's the kicker where you're fuck.
Yeah, because you don't feel like you got beat, you feel like you lost.
Exactly. Yep.
That's fair.
Yep. But yeah, I'm sure the Vikings will be good. I think the Bears they'll be okay. But yeah, year 1 with the coach, you can't expect them to go out there and win 10, 11 games, right? I think realistically, I think if they can give us 8 wins, I think that's a pretty good win considering we had 4 last year or something.
In contrast to the Vikings, where it is more like you new quarterback, but you have this more or less the same coaching staff holding over in that.
Yeah, it's like the well-oiled machine. Yeah. We're just changing the quarterback.
Sure.
Right? It's essentially what the Vikings are doing.
And what the
and then Tyler can talk about the Packers, but yeah, the Packers looked good. I
would just like to go on record that Matt LaFleur's first head coaching job with Green Bay in 2019, he went 13-3. So, just to
this is 6th year. Wow. Okay.
Because who was there before that?
Yeah, man, Green Bay.
Mike McCarthy.
That's the name.
Who was on the Cowboys the past few years.
Okay, I couldn't remember.
I don't think he's the Cowboys head coach now. I think they fired him last year.
I couldn't remember if it was the Dallas.
Yeah, I don't know who it is now.
If the guy came from Dallas or if they went to Dallas. That makes sense.
Yeah, he went to Dallas and yeah. But yeah, go ahead, Tyler. Please talk about it. Yeah, the Packers obviously looked good.
Yeah, no.
They beat the
Green
Lions.
Bay, just had a couple words. It was polished, man. It was good fundamental football on all sides of the ball, including special teams. And coming out week 1, you just really can't ask for more. And I think Green Bay's biggest criticism for last year is we were what I would consider a fourth quarter team, and we got off to a lot of slow starts in the first half and even the third quarter, and then you find yourselves fighting to get the lead back or any kind of points or for wins in the fourth quarter. It's just it's tough on a team in general. And when you make mistakes, they're that much more exponentialized. I don't even know if that's a word, but I made it a word.
No, I'm with you. Yeah.
When you don't have time on your side. So the fact that we got off to a good start in first half, we really beat the brakes off the Lions, especially a good team like the Lions. It really shows what we're capable of for the rest of the season. You get to see Michael Parsons make a direct impact first game, which is what you want to see from somebody that you pay that much money. Just kind of brush those kind of heavy expectations that he's putting on his shoulders from such a heavy payday. Just kind of brushing that off first game is always got to be a good feeling for him too, for his mental. So, yeah, man, I'm excited for the rest of the season. But yeah, man, go Pack, go.
Yeah, so I mean, it's one of those where like sports to me are always not as difficult as people make them seem sometimes. Where like the Packers definitely looked really good, added a phenomenal player to an already good team.
Sure.
Right. And then it's also like exacerbated by like they have their same head coach, they have their same offensive coordinator, same defensive coordinator, same quarterback. Right. Which are like the most important pieces of a team where
Sure.
the Lions like were good last year, but like lost offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator, which could drastically impact how good a team's being coached out there.
Offensive line.
Yeah, so it's
like 2 or 3 main people on their offensive line.
Yeah, man. So it's challenging, right? And then the Vikings, closer to the Packers-esque of keeping the same team, but you had to replace a quarterback. But it's a guy who they invested a first-round pick in, and he didn't play at all last year, which is probably more beneficial to his own development instead of putting him out there right with no experience at all. He got to sit on the bench for a really good team and learn a lot. So, yeah, man, there's just the way these organizations who are good organizations carry themselves. It shows over and over and over again by the decisions they make from ownership to GM to head coach onward. And the people who are like the Bears and the Browns and the Jets, right? It's just like poor decisions over and over and over again. So
you would put the
until
Bears,
somebody can break the cycle.
You'd put the Bears in that same group. Like I guess like objectively they might be
modern Bears. I think you have to, bro. Modern Bears, like post 20, probably 2010.
I guess like not as a guy
guess.
that doesn't pay that much attention to it. I guess you're right. I just kind of always assumed they were a little bit better. But when did they go to the Super Bowl with Grossman? Was that?
Oh, we were young, dude. That's probably
like 06.
Yo, for sure. Yeah, I'm probably saying
Really?
06, 07.
Damn, fuck. Okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
no idea.
it's a while ago, dude. Yeah. I would put the Bears in that same stance as like your Giants, your Browns, probably the Jets as well. That maybe like the Jaguars.
I was gonna say, then there's the ones that no one thinks about, i.e., the Jaguars.
Yeah, like Jaguars,
might as well not
Panthers.
even be a team. Yeah,
yeah, but I think they're in that same lane. Yeah. So it's challenging, man.
It's crazy because they just
somebody can come along and finally fix it.
I just like in my mind, I think of the Bears as a big market team, which just typically aren't that bad for that long in baseball. Like at some point, like, at some point in like today in modern baseball, even if you're if you're the Red Sox, you're not terrible for more than like 2 or 3 years, right? Like it's just it's unheard of. Yeah, like somehow you will either buy the right people or like grow the right people. Like it's crazy for the Bears to have all this money and have all that recognition and be that bad for that long at this point.
It is, dude, and that's what makes
You're getting this in real time, folks.
Right?
Yeah, I'm having a reckoning within myself as a non-sports follower and just like understanding my quote basically hometown team at this point is it's dog shit.
You're starting to see how the collapse can come, right? It's inevitable.
No, of course. Good thing I like the Ravens.
Like I said, you compare it to the Packers. Oh, brother, I mean, this was a terrible football weekend for me. I mean, I'm a big Ravens guy too, and they
heard they blew one.
They looked good, and like they just fucking blew it. It looked so good. The Ravens to me are so interesting, man, and I try to be realistic too, and not have massive takes, but like honestly, they go in spurts for like
streaky. They're
2 quarters
team.
or 3 quarters of looking like they are the best team in the NFL, like by a pretty wide margin.
Very momentum.
And then like there's other instances, and it's like they look like they should win 5 games.
Yeah.
Right? Like they just look so bad. It's ridiculous, dude. And you can't win a championship like that. So they got to clean that up, man.